My name is Honey LeBronx, but you all knew that already, right? VeganDragQueen.com if you don't already know who I am. I am so happy today to get to introduce someone who I am a huge fan of. Coming to the stage, please welcome my good friend Jasmin Singer. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. Jasmin Singer is the executive director of Our Hen House, ourhenhouse.org, a multimedia hive of opportunities to change the world for animals. Our Hen House was named the 2011 Indie Media Powerhouse by Veggie News magazine. Along with her partner, animal law professor Marianne Sullivan, Jasmin is the co-host of the popular Our Hen House podcast, which you can find on iTunes. The podcast has been broadcast weekly since Our Hen House's founding in January 2010, and is now in production for its 125th consecutive weekly episode. We're talking weekly, people. In addition to her work with Our Hen House, Jasmin is a contributing writer for Veggie News magazine, a host for Veggie News TV, and was also named by Veggie News as one of 20 standout stars of the animal rights movement. She has also written for Satya magazine and Hebe magazine, and is the former campaigns manager for Farm Sanctuary. Jasmin regularly travels the globe giving workshops on veganism and activism, including venues such as Veg Fests all around the country, and conferences, and hundreds of individually organized events at law schools, community centers, and bookstores. She lives in NYC with Marianne and their precious pit bull, Rose, and I happen to know she is an enormous Bette Midler fan, just like me. And I'm just going to give a quick little fun fact about this little lady before I bring her up. This takes me about 2, sometimes 3 hours to put my face on. You can picture it. When I'm putting my face on, I am literally in my kitchen at my makeup table, which is in my kitchen because I live in Manhattan, and I'm listening to Our Hen House, episodes of them, back to back to back to back, and I'm laughing my head off, and they're so amazing. So if you are not already a subscriber, please join me in going to iTunes and subscribing to Our Hen House. It will be your favorite new podcast, second to mine, Big Fat Vegan Radio. Please welcome Jasmin Singer!
Thank you so much. That's Honey LeBronx, who I love madly and passionately in inappropriate ways, but that's okay. It is so great to be up here and to see all of these compassionate faces. Things are starting to shift. Can you feel it? I can feel it. I bet you can too. The world is starting to wake up to what many of us here already know, that there is one solution to our species, for our planet, and for the world, and all of its absolutely extraordinary inhabitants. Just think about it. First, we have what is perhaps our most basic need, right? Our health. Our health, because Bill Clinton has cured his heart disease thanks to a healthy vegan diet, and everybody else can too. A healthy vegan diet can also cure or reverse or prevent all of these diseases, including rheumatoid arthritis, to type 2 diabetes, to many forms of cancer, to obesity, to strokes. Basically, most of the horrible, horrible diseases that are plaguing our country. Next, there's the environment. The environment, global warming and air pollution and water pollution and habitat destruction, animal agriculture and the poop caused by over 50 billion land animals worldwide are major contributors to all of these. The United Nations has even called for a global shift to a vegan diet in order to save the world from fuel shortages and from the worst impacts of climate change and from world hunger. Hunger, you say. Hunger. How does that work? In fact, we now have more than 7 billion people on this planet. 7 billion people on this planet. We have got to get serious about how to feed the world. We have absolutely no choice. Animal agriculture is incredibly resource intensive. And unless we want to a world where the rich eat animals and the poor eat nothing. We have to figure out how to shift everyone to a vegan diet, because that is literally the only way forward. Finally, and for most of us here, myself included, this is what got us out on a Sunday. This is what tugs at our heartstrings. There's the animals. The animals, the suffering of animals on factory farms is incomprehensible. It's impossible to convey in a soundbite, but suffice it to say, we have created right here on our precious planet a hidden secret universe of suffering inhabited by billions and billions of innocent beings. But more people are facing up to the fact that the animals of the world cannot remain out of sight and out of mind, suffering in silence. They need every single person to step up to the plate, literally, and say, no, I will not support that anymore. That means everybody here. Each of these reasons on their own, each of these reasons I'm talking about, that alone is sufficient for us to be here. That alone is sufficient for us to go vegan. But when taken together, they illuminate this beautiful, extraordinary synergy. It is no accident whatsoever that the best thing for you is the best thing for the planet, is the best thing for the people of the world, is the best thing for animals. And the fact is that there is an easy solution to all of these problems that I'm talking about, and this is really profound. The happiest part for me is that that solution is so damn delicious. Today's parade is the start. It's just the start of the walk we must walk and the talk we must talk every single day in our own lives on the ground. The world will not change, and the animals cannot get out of this life of misery without you. You are the ones who have awakened. You are the ones who are the leaders. It's in your hands. We all know that the meat industrial complex only survives because people who never in a million years would support it continue to support it anyway by buying its products. And the industry eagerly enables this to happen by keeping its activities as secret as possible. But there are, of course, cracks in the wall behind which animal agribusiness operates, and awareness is growing about all of the harms that it causes. So it's going to go down. It has to. The only question is, how long will it take? And how much damage will it do in the meantime? The answer to that question, it lies in the people who have awakened to this nightmare ahead of the rest of the world. That means everybody here. And perhaps you're thinking, well, yes, but individual change is not all that's needed here. Instead, we need governmental regulation, massive changes in policy, huge, massive shifts. Yes, in fact, that's true. We need all of that. But what is going to motivate government or industry to change? The fact is that there are absolutely no signs that government is going to do anything about this industry. In fact, all facts are pointing in the opposite direction, with laws being passed in a number of states that would criminalize whistleblowing on factory farms. And why would industry change its policies, improve its animal welfare, stop all of this nonsense, clean up its act? This is a business, a highly competitive business. The only thing that will motivate industry to change is if it starts to lose market share. And the best way to do that is to organize a boycott. And you know how you spell boycotts? V-E-G-A-N. That's right. Exactly. It's so exciting to be up here with people who get it, and stand up here with people who are hearing this, because at our Hen House, which is the organization that I founded, we're devoted to helping people to figure out a way to change the world based on your own life in a way that makes it exciting for you. Because everybody has his own talents and special skills and interests, and plugging that into changing the world for animals is, guess what? It's the only way we're going to change the world for animals. This is a social justice movement right here, in which all advocacy must be done by others, because the animals can't do it themselves. But in other ways, animal rights and veganism, it does not stand apart from other social justice issues and efforts to improve the world. Because first, there's the mindset, which is very, very similar. There's the connections between animal agriculture and human hunger and environmental devastation, but there's tons of other connections too to human rights issues. It's so important that we remember this and that we understand that the movement to end the horrific abuse to animals, the movement to improve the lot of animals, is in so many ways the same as the movement to end racism and homophobia and bigotry of all kinds and violence, not because the victims are the same, but because the mindset that allows this to happen is rooted in the same place. And the idea that the earth is a zero-sum game in which there's only so much compassion to go around and we have to save it for those who are like us is bottom line the attitude that is destroying the world. Looked at like this, our veganism and our activism and our animal rights and our attitudes toward animals, it becomes not something that separates us from other movements, but something that really, really unites us. It potentially links us to people all over the world who are doing whatever they can to rectify injustice. And that is a very fine group of people to be linked to. At our hen house, we like to describe ourselves as indefatigably positive. That doesn't mean that we don't feel the despair sometimes. Of course we do. But if we could wake up excited to face the day, if we could latch on to something positive, something that really moves us and changes us, we could put a lot of joy into our lives. So we not only have the power to transform the world, we also have the potential to transform ourselves. We will be heard. We will be listened to. Our food, it will be savored, and we will make change. We just have to go out there and start creating delicious opportunities instead of devastating despair. Thank you.